Fair enough.
Welcome to Two Idiots Talking Shit.
This is episode 3 with Idiot 1 and.
Idiot 2.
So, to our listeners who now are basically just the two of us, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes. Shout out to that one guy who did follow us. We hope you're living your best life.
I mean, you moved on, but just know that we care about you.
Yes. Even in your darkest times, like No Nut November.
No, not November. Thing that internet incels invented just to make them feel better about themselves for 1 month, or a time of revelations.
It depends on your viewpoint, I guess. I mean, it used to be called No Shave November.
I kinda like No Shave November.
Yeah, or even Movember. What happened to charity?
Movember?
Yeah.
That was a thing?
Yeah. For the stash?
No.
Yes.
Mustaches just make people look creepy, man.
It depends on the type of stash that you have. You have everything from the pedo stash to the Ron Swanson stash.
Ron Swanson has a fucking amazing stash.
Oh, yes, he does.
So, let's move on to the 1st of December, where the people will be celebrating
Yes.
the end of No Nut November,
Embracing
or
Christmas
N
time.
cubed, as
N-cubed.
the kids say.
Alright.
What exactly would be some interesting ways to celebrate the end?
Well, after a month of not celebrating, per se, I would celebrate with my pinky out.
Okay. You know, we've been friends for a long time.
Yes, we have.
We don't really talk about our masturbation habits.
No.
Have you ever done it with your pinky out?
I keep meaning to, but I haven't.
So are you saying that you failed No Nut November?
Yes, I have. Sadly. Mostly because I'm embracing No Shave November.
So you're telling me that you're trying to be embracing the past times, like back in your day?
Yes. See, I am over the hill, so someone's got to keep the culture alive.
What you're saying is you're a boomer.
I walked into that one. No, see, boomers don't respect people's opinions, whereas I do. Shut the fuck up.
No, okay, no. That's not the only thing that's attributed to boomers. Boomers they were raised in the most, the healthiest economy.
Known to man.
And then comes us, millennials. And we're the more baby generation of millennials.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're the lower end.
If I'm not mistaken, millennials is anyone from 1980 onwards until 2000, right?
1980 to 1995, 1985 to 1995, something around that range.
Oh, okay.
After that, it's Generation X and Generation Z.
So we're in the lower curve of the millennials.
Yeah, we're like barely scraping through.
Yeah.
Funny how you're still a boomer.
It's all in the heart.
You call me old.
I'm not the one with the flip cover on a certain device.
Moving on to something more interesting. Extreme sports.
What comes to your mind?
Bungee jumping, although I wouldn't call it a sport, seems to be referred to as one. I like the whole wing gliding suit, the wingsuit. What do you call it? Flying squirrel? Wingsuit?
Yes, wingsuiting.
That
yeah.
shit looks fucking cool.
Think of the arm strength you would need.
No, I don't know. Maybe the updraft gives you extra arm strength.
Possible. Have people wingsuited from a plane?
I'm pretty sure they have, yeah. And them jumping from a cliff and just flying in the air, that...
Base jumping.
No, with the wingsuit.
Yeah, base jumping with a wingsuit, yeah.
That shit is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Especially the dude who went in the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah, no, man. You must have some dinosaur balls for that shit.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And the perfect body type.
So, do you have... We've discussed before about a idea
Indeed, we have.
for a new extreme sport. Would you like to introduce our two listeners?
Right. So I was thinking, people love going on speedboats, and people love jumping off things. Base jumping, bungee jumping, suicide. But that aside...
You're going to very dark places. I wish we edited these.
It's too late now. Authentic, unfiltered content, that's us.
Unfortunately.
But disclaimer, both of us are completely mentally fine and suffer no consequences from what we are saying. Back to tits. So, my theory was standing on the edge of a speeding speedboat, I mean on the prow for you nautical folks out there, and jumping off the second it stops. So its momentum as it stops adds to your push-off power.
I don't think you understand how speedboats work.
As a person from a oceanic region of the world, enlighten me.
If how are you saying you're gonna stop the speedboat? Like, turn off the engine?
Don't speedboats have brakes?
Not really.
I was operating under the assumption that speedboats, like most vehicles, had brakes.
No. Speedboats don't have brakes. They have reverse.
Can you just hit reverse?
That's how you brake your engine.
So my idea doesn't work then?
Not really. Not really. You kind of turn off the acceleration and turn on the reverse, but even when you do that, it can be pretty jarring, but it's not exactly a stop that you're looking for. I think what you're looking for would work if there was a cliff involved, a double-decker bus, and a man standing on the top of the double-decker bus.
If anyone has access to all of these things and willing safety measures, please try it out.
Our kids are going to be doing this.
But, okay, how about this? People skydive, people bungee jump.
Yeah,
What about bungee jumping off a helicopter?
I think it's a thing.
Or a plane?
I think, well, I don't know about a plane. I think that's how people die. But off a helicopter, I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
Didn't Will Smith do it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Dude's 50 and he's still doing shit like this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. By the time I'm 25, I'll be old.
Yes, your body will reach your mind.
Thank you for that.
Idiot 2 is a very old soul.
Not really. I enjoy the daily amenities of technology.
Yes, you also enjoy the finer things in life.
Then I'm very set in my ways.
Yes. Boomer.
Yeah, no, I walked into that one.
Yes. But speaking of sports, and extreme sports, what about sports in general?
I'm not a person that's very interested in sports, but I have been known to dabble in female sports.
How so?
Not for the reasons that normal people would assume. No, I coached a few female teams in my time.
Okay. What sport?
Futsal.
Ah.
Never got anywhere with it. I was a terrible coach. Good manager, though.
So you got the money but not the titles.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I had a jersey that says manager.
We'll take it.
Yeah, but during my last trip back home, I actually observed some very startling differences between male futsal and female futsal, and I'm assuming it's the same way for almost all sports. There's a huge difference between males playing a sport versus women playing a sport. For some reason, it's given a lower standing, lower respect. You tell me, have you ever watched women's volleyball?
Not on purpose, no. I never specifically tuned into the TV to like saying, oh, I have to watch this event right now. Unless it was the Olympics, which is universal anyway.
Yeah, keeping the Olympics out of it.
Yeah.
Let's say you were watching a match of women's volleyball.
Yes.
Would you be focusing on the game?
Not per se, no.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
People end up saying some dumb shit while women are playing the game, but they put a lot of fucking effort into playing the game, man.
I'd say equivalent ever to all athletes.
Probably more, because women have to work harder to get the skills necessary for men to do it. Biologically speaking,
That
their
is
muscle
true.
building capacity, due to their hormone levels, will be different.
Yes.
We're speaking from a scientific standpoint. In no way does this reflect reality, and outliers prove the rule.
Yes. But no, you're right. See, testosterone does help in building muscle and help stamina building and all that stuff. And women just have a lower level of testosterone.
Yeah, and they have estrogen.
Yes.
They get very beautiful things because of the estrogen.
And they won't get osteoporosis
Aren't they more likely to get osteoporosis?
once the estrogen stops.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but my point still stands. Like, women do work pretty hard.
Yeah.
Why are they not taken seriously?
I don't know. Like take the female soccer team for example. They won the World Cup recently, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it was
Which female soccer team?
exactly. I'm not sure if it was the U.S. or Australia. That proves our point. We don't know. If we paid more attention, we would.
But I think in the end, it does come to personal preference. Like with sports, is a lot like music, in my opinion.
Different genres, different tastes.
Yeah, different genres, different tastes. Some people like football, some people like hockey, some people like reggae, some people like rap,
Yeah.
some people like death metal. We call that hockey.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't tuned in, hockey is very, very brutal, especially ice hockey.
Yeah, so if we take all of that into consideration, male players versus female players can just be looked at as male voices singing a song versus a female voice singing a song.
Yes.
Some people prefer a male voice to a female voice, and some people prefer a female voice to a male voice.
That is true.
Shouldn't it be just merit based instead of devaluing one group of people?
In an ideal world, yes, it really should be.
Why aren't things just like that?
I don't know. Women are just paid less and recognized for the wrong things.
That's another thing that I do have controversial to the liberal beliefs
Indeed.
when it comes to the pay gap. I just think they should be paid equal, but based on the amount of work that they do.
Yeah, I mean, equal work for equal pay, essentially.
Yeah, but that also means that men should get the same amount of holidays accessible to them that women do.
Yes, which I think Scandinavia and New Zealand are slowly turning the tide towards.
Yeah, if that is the case, there would be the main point that people hang on to when it comes to the wage gap is that I know of is that women get their maternity leaves and all that,
Yes.
which means that they can be absent from work for a long period of time, which means that overall their productivity is lower than a man.
Yes.
Just productivity wise.
Mhm.
I see that as a fair point because I believe that people should be awarded based on the amount of work that they do.
Yes.
So, instead of bickering about giving women the same wages, why not give men the same amount of holidays and lower their wage to the same as women?
Didn't think of it that way. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, because it reduces the gap, increases holiday time, and if you don't want the holidays, just work and get paid.
Yeah, I'd really like that idea because, especially if we're talking about increasing women's wages
Mm-hmm.
based on the amount of work that they do, that would mean reducing their maternity
Yes.
leave. And I do not believe that a baby should be left with somebody else to be taken care of.
Oh,
If you're gonna have it, you better take care of it.
yes. Which is not to say that women should not work.
Women should work. I know plenty of working mothers, but
Yes.
they do
Crucial
not.
times.
They do not neglect. By the time that the child is 1 year old, they know how to differentiate between their nanny and their mother.
Which is sad.
Yeah, those formative months is very important for the mother to be near a child to develop that relationship with the child.
Most definitely.
So if I was doing any of these changes, I wouldn't change any of that, but I would also give the right for the father to be there.
Yeah. Get paid the equal amount.
Yeah.
On the plus side, for women who don't want to have kids, just continue working the way you are and just get that increased pay gap.
Yeah,
Works both ways.
it works both ways. The only big problem we have is the fact that living costs are rising.
Living costs, ocean levels,
Ocean levels.
Help.
Did you hear about the fire in Australia?
the fires.
The
Oh.
fires.
Yes.
And apparently they're only gonna get worse every year.
Yeah. It got bad a couple of years ago. And it's just been
What was it called?
the bushfires.
No. There was a famous fire that happened that I don't fucking know. This is
Yeah.
your region of interest.
It doesn't help that the people in power are climate change deniers. Of Australia specifically.
It's not only Australia, man. In a lot of countries, they're just denying the whole climate change thing.
That's true.
It's just because that the climate change is not something that pays. Fighting climate change.
And it's not something that affects our income or generation right now, as it is. The
No,
people-
it'll affect us. It'll affect the millennials, not the boomers.
Yeah, they don't care.
It'll affect everybody going down.
And if you think we're wrong, boomers, change your mind.
Yeah. So, okay, that was a lot of heavy shit.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something lighter with public sex.
Why do some people like it, and why do some people don't?
I don't know.
Yeah, to me, sex, per se, if one were to have it, is a very intimate and private thing.
Mm-hmm.
4 walls, closed door, do what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and enter the world as after the deed is done.
Let me counter with this.
Hmm.
Have you ever had sex with people outside your room? Not like listening in, but right outside, and your door is unlocked.
No.
Have you ever made out in a place that you weren't supposed to make out in?
Yeah, but
Or done shit like
Yeah.
excessive of making
Yes,
out
yes, yes.
in places where you were not supposed to be doing that shit.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be considered public sex?
To an extent.
By sex, we're referring to a term that is
Broad.
broader than just inserting a penis into an orifice.
Yes.
When we take it that way, does that change your gears? Do you really relate to it more?
Substantially. Yes.
How so? Explain this to me. Explain this foreign concept.
Well, when making out with someone, I mean, it would start with a kiss.
No, not the concept of
No,
making
no,
out.
no, no, I know,
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Just to make it clear,
Yes,
I
yes.
understand what that is.
But I guess it would depend on the place. Like if I was in something somewhere like a park or something, then it wouldn't get far. But again, if I was in at home or something with doors unlocked, roommates, housemates not home, would that be considered public?
No, that's private.
What would be considered public? A car?
Yeah, a car would be considered a bit public.
A car in the basement?
No. Car in a basement where people can accidentally walk in?
Yeah, but not likely.
You have no excitement in life, do you?
Nah.
But think about it that way, though. Think about it in terms of the excitement generated from a thrill of being caught.
Doesn't do it for me.
Well, I guess we're never going to reach an end in this one.
What do you guys think? Do you like public sex?
What do you think that public sex
Involves. Encompasses?
No. What's the attraction to public sex?
Yes.
That's a better way to put the question.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Speaking of sex,
Hmm.
how old were you when you found out that women also want to have sex?
Some variation of a teenage year. Before the age of 19, after the age of 13, I think.
That's all.
Yeah, probably high school.
I can't really relate to that. Because during the years of my me hitting puberty like a truck, I was in an all boys school.
Wait. Same here, but I still had contact with my old school friends. I still went out and everything.
I didn't have any.
Oh, you poor soul. But when it did occur, when I did realize that, it blew my mind. Did it blow yours?
The fact, how I found out was an English teacher, funnily enough,
Okay.
came to our class and he was just discussing the fact that he worked. So, where I'm originally from, there's a all male school for the 14 to 16 age range, and a all female school. So when we're younger than that, we're all mixed.
Right.
And then during the years when we hit that mark, we're shoved into single-sex schools.
Ah.
So we were very curious about the goings-on of the female school.
Indeed.
And this teacher worked in a female school.
You had a conduit.
Yes, we did. And he started telling us about women drawing dicks on tables.
It wasn't just us.
It was not just us.
Dicks were universal.
Dicks were universal.
You
And
heard it first on
apparently,
Tits. Dicks are universal.
and apparently women were just as horny as us.
What do you know? All this from an English teacher.
All this
We just
from an
happened to
English
work
teacher
there.
blew our minds. You could see the explosions going from one end of the class to the other end. Unfortunately, he was a substitute teacher and then he left.
It's always the substitute teachers who give the best tea.
God, yeah. But his little speech about horny little women, it changed our lives.
He was doing the good work.
Yes, he was. Do you think arousal is different for women?
Yeah. I think for men it's more surface level.
You mean to say that you do not get aroused by the emotional characteristics of a woman?
I do, but I also get very aroused by physical characteristics. I'm phrasing that wrong.
So phrase them right.
Yes. The gears are turning.
Yes. For all those listening, Idiot 1's brain could be compared to a Pentium 2 processor.
Make it Pentium 5.
Pentium 2 processor with a few megabytes of RAM. It takes a while.
Yes, especially when the... Nah, I don't have enough brain power for witty comebacks. Back to the thing I do have brain power for. Arousal. So I think it is different for women in the sense that, well, they can have success in multiple orgasms.
But men can too. It's a not well-known fact, but men can.
True, but to a different degree.
Not really.
For those listening, Idiot 2 has a knowing smile on his face. I don't know why. But that being said, I think on a level, women do get aroused just as easily as men, but it isn't as convenient for them to get rid of the arousal, you know what I mean? Like go into a bathroom, rub one out, come out.
Jesus fuck, what the fuck are you doing?
Hear me out. It takes time.
Okay.
So for us it's more cerebral, or for them it's more emotional? I don't know, that made no sense. Wow.
At some point in the future, we need to get a woman in this podcast and ask her about these things.
Yes, we do.
I have a willing candidate in mind. Probably unwilling, but we'll get her to do this. That sounds like much worse
Than it is. All future participants in this show are completely willing and sound of mind.
Sound of mind is debatable.
Yeah.
Let's just say their
capable of making their own
IQs
decisions.
are above room temperature.
No, I would hope so. The room temperature's about 16 right now, man. But yes, in future episodes, stay tuned for a potential guest.
Yes, whom we will ask about arousal of all things.
Yes.
But these are things we should know.
Especially considering we're in the science field. Is it scientific though?
I think arousal is pretty scientific. It is chemical reactions occurring in your brain and physical responses to those stimuli.
That is true. We're just flashbacks controlled by a mass.
But women watch porn, right?
Yes.
A lot of women do not admit to it. Some women do.
Yes.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. But when they do, I doubt they're going towards the emotional aspect of things.
No, that is true. I think we can agree that my convoluted reasoning behind this was very, very wild.
I think if we got anything from this, it is that Idiot 1 does not understand the intricacies of women's arousal.
That being said, look, As men, as straight men, I enjoy watching lesbian porn.
Okay.
Do you think women enjoy watching men on men porn?
Yeah, I know for a fact that some women do. I know
Okay.
for a fact that some men do not enjoy lesbian porn.
I see why not.
I mean,
To each their own.
I'm gonna come out with it and not dance around the bush. I don't enjoy lesbian porn.
Fair point.
Yeah, so
It isn't for everyone.
yeah. I mean, we all have our own taste.
Indeed.
I respect them though.
The porn, the lesbians, or the women masturbating?
Porn stars.
Ah. Yes.
They're doing some hard work. I watched a documentary about it by that woman from Parks and Recreation.
Leslie Knope. Her real name,
No, not that one. The other one.
Mindy Kaling.
Ambiguous.
Pam. That's from The Office.
Ambiguous race.
Oh.
Nurse. The nurse.
The one with the dead eyes.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza.
No,
No, not her. Okay.
not her. The other one. Never mind.
Yes. A woman who was a
Moving
nurse
on.
on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she did a documentary on some girls that was managed by this one dude in this one house, and it was some scary shit, man.
Damn.
Like they were not treated badly
Okay.
at all, but in another way they all I felt like they were exploited.
But didn't know they were being exploited?
Yeah, like they're pretty young people. There were some older people,
Hmm.
but I don't think they ever had the emotional maturity to understand.
What they're being led to believe?
Yeah, and through the documentary, it's revealed that most of them just blow their money on drugs, clubbing, things like that. The porn industry is a very well-paying industry, but if you end up spending the same amount that you're earning, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Then there was that porn star who paid her college fees through doing porn.
See, that's smart.
Yeah, no, if I had a big dick,
It's how you use it.
no, I'm not ashamed.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, if I had a big dick, that would be my entrance to porn. And
Yeah.
start paying my uni fees.
Yeah, some of those dicks are monstrously sized.
I don't understand how women's vaginas can take those.
I mean, if they can deliver a baby, then.
I know, but still, some dicks are the size of babies.
But thankfully, not the width.
No, I'm talking about fucking width, man.
Ooh, okay. Viagra?
I don't know.
Unless the porn industry has been hiding some kind of voodoo tablet.
Look, okay. On YouTube, I end up in weird places. Even on Pornhub, I end up in weird places. Not on purpose. Just like going through things, and then I end up in a weird place. I don't know how I got there. I don't understand it at all. And I am frankly very disturbed by the things that some people are into. Did you know that nipple fucking was a thing?
How is that even possible?
Women with extremely large nipples. Men just push their penises into the areolas.
Who gets pleasure from this? The woman or the man?
I don't fucking know. I saw the thumbnail and I promptly closed the entire thing, and I did not masturbate for 2 weeks.
Keep in mind, Idiot 2 has seen some shit. Right? He once sent me a video of an orangutan or a monkey of some sort with human lips just going boop beep boop 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 and slowly zooming in for a minute. So a person who's seen that unflinchingly, nipple fucking was his limit.
Not really.
I stand corrected.
I just found it very disturbing to see with my own naked eyes. If anybody wants to explore the nature of human deviancy in and around sex, I would suggest 100 Days of Sodom by Marquis de Sade, someone along those lines, some French serial killer guy. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a serial killer.
We will upload the title in the description.
No, we won't. If the person listens and the person reads the book, you've been warned. It's pretty bad. It gets worse. When you think it couldn't possibly get worse, it gets worse.
Would you compare?
There's also a movie for you non-book reading folk.
Jesus.
You can watch it, and yes, it's disturbing, and I would not recommend it. But if you're willing to be scarred for life, go ahead.
On a scale of normal human tastes to the human centipede, how bad is it?
Hitler.
Didn't answer my question.
Yes. Hitler.
Wow. On a scale of... no. Okay then. So you heard it. 100 Ways of Sodomy?
100 Days.
100 Days of Sodomy by a French person?
French serial killer.
French serial killer.
Wrote it while he was in prison awaiting his death sentence.
How did he choose to die?
I don't think there was a choice back then. It was guillotine.
Those days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those days weren't that far back. I think the last guillotine execution happened in something like the 1960s.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want a mini guillotine.
For what, your fingers?
No, I'm talking about like the size of like, let's say a jar of Centrum pills, right? Cut your vegetables, cut your fruits.
The fuck are Centrum pills?
Multivitamins.
Okay.
But yeah, like a mini thing to cut your fruits, vegetables, fries, meat.
I'm pretty sure that exists in one form or the other.
Or we could just use a blender.
Speaking of preferences in general, what about weather? Moving on to a more milder topic. We've been talking about sex for a little bit.
We have. I like weather. Weather is essential as a part of life.
I don't think that was a human sentence to say. In no way that was human.
No, look, idiot too. I know people who stay in their rooms with blackout curtains and don't see the light of day for 3 days at a time. I don't think weather
That's
matters.
a completely normal way to live.
It may be, maybe not. But I don't think weather matters to those people.
Weather does. Nothing rustles a person's jimmies than rain. The sound of rain.
See,
Sound of some heavy rain, come on, man.
Oh.
Nothing can beat the sound of some heavy ass rain.
especially
Lightning, thunder.
no,
Lightning's not a sound.
I'll agree with you on that. Yes. We have lived in some places which get some gnarly storms.
I mean, I wouldn't call them gnarly. They're pretty regular storms. I guess the rest of the world does not have storms like this. Do they?
Do you guys?
Like, do you guys have
Well,
so much water falling from the sky that entire areas get flooded, and you could hold a cup outside your window and it'll get filled with so much water you could drink for a day?
which we wouldn't recommend because of pollution.
Yeah, that.
I mean, some countries get snow.
We don't get snow though.
I would like snow, but it's very damp.
As a person who's never experienced snow, I would love to see snow. If there are any rich people out there who are listening to this podcast for some godforsaken reason, contact us on this if you can. I think you can leave a comment, right? If you can't leave a comment, leave us a way to contact you, and
Yeah.
we'll let you know about a snow podcast.
Because I would say you'd know where to find us, but you really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But heavy extreme weather aside, on a normal day, what is your preferred type of weather?
Gray.
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 Gray is a type of weather now. Okay.
You know when you step outside your door and you look up at the sky and everything around it, it's all just gray.
So London.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas some other people prefer bright blue skies, white puffy clouds, and sun.
But gray is pretty calming.
I would call it slightly depressing.
It depends on where you were brought up, I guess.
Not necessarily. I have friends
And
who
your personal...
are brought up in the same places I was. They have radically different views. Views I've tried to change.
For example?
I come from a sunny place.
Yeah.
People like gray. People want rain. I mean, winter's the happiest fucking time of their lives. And not because it's cold. Cold is nice.
Okay, listen. This is my perfect argument for your perfect weather. Gray. You don't sweat.
Neither do I.
Sun.
It's dry heat.
Listen, okay?
What if it's grey and humid?
Gray and it's never gray and fucking humid.
Yes.
What are you, mad?
Yesterday.
It was not gray and humid.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Gray with a little bit of wind.
Okay.
That's perfect.
But you don't see the sun.
You don't need to see the sun. The sun is up there. You know the sun is up there. Listen, okay, humans don't run on sun. Humans run on nighttime.
And he says he's not a vampire.
I'm not. Why did the conversation turn to this? Is this your defense?
No.
Because it's pathetic.
Look, seasonal depression.
Sweat.
Yes.
And if it's dry heat, you start getting weird shit like your lips cracking and you have to start applying shit and your skin starts getting all dry and you have to apply lotion.
That's why you have swimming pools.
So your best day is a dry heat day
By the pool.
in a swimming pool.
By the pool, yeah.
That involves a place.
Yeah.
We're talking about life in general. Like if every day was supposed to be the same weather, what would you rather it be?
26 degrees, slight breeze everywhere, blue skies, sunny weather.
I would go for a little bit colder. 24, 25.
Celsius for American non-listeners.
Disgusting people can't even figure out what a stone is.
Yeah.
23 to 25 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Yes.
Grey weather, just about to rain.
Okay.
Like you can feel, you know that complete sucking of the air you feel right before it's about to rain?
Oh, yes.
That is perfect. If I could have that every day of my life, just that moment right before it rains, that like
Stillness?
yeah, like a vacuum effect.
Right.
Every day. That would be amazing.
I'm so happy you're single so your thoughts won't get multiplied in your future progeny.
For now.
For now. It's okay. By the time his kid's born, I'll be there to disinfluence it from his thoughts.
Yeah, now those your kids.
Yes. It is the way of the world.
Yeah.
Yes. But do let us know, what is the perfect kind of weather? Dark, stormy, gloomy?
Let me adjust that sentence, comment a little bit.
Uh-huh.
What weather would you like to have if you had to have it for the rest of your life?
Yes. Yes. Not as easy as we make it seem to be. We've had this discussion for a while now, so we have our thoughts, but think about it. Let us know. Or would you prefer to not have weather at all?
What would that be like?
Space.
Does space have weather?
I don't think so.
Does
Because weather requires an atmosphere.
I mean, the sun on one side and freezing absolute zero on the other side, does that count as weather?
No, that counts.
If you spun hard enough,
Yeah.
would you negate that?
Would you have to be a certain
What would be the spin you need to reach the perfect temperature if
In
you were in space?
You would have to consider dimensions as well.
Oh yeah.
Because if you were a normal human-sized being, you wouldn't do jack shit.
You make it sound like you're not human, but okay.
If we could get, let's say, 100,000 people perfectly synchronized in space, all spinning in the same way,
Yeah.
that might do something.
No, that's not going in line with my question. Let's say you were in space, right? And like in naked space, and you had the sun on one side of you and the
Freezing vacuum of
space
space.
on other side.
Right.
So one side of you will be experiencing zero
And the other
zero
side
Kelvin.
would be
The
experienced.
other side will be experiencing 6,000 degrees Celsius-ish.
Yes.
No, that's the surface of the sun.
Searing
I
heat.
don't know what the exact temperature would be. It would be hot.
Searing burning heat.
Yes. Say if you spin, the heat and cooling will be distributed more evenly across you.
Yes.
How fast would you have to spin to be at a comfortable temperature?
That is true, considering that it's light and just atmosphere. So pretty much instantaneous effect.
Yes.
So we'd have to turn faster than the speed of light?
No. No. Okay, first of all, your favorite thing in the world, I don't think you know how the sun works. Or heat. You have specific heat capacities all over you.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are very good insulators.
Yeah, so you just need to spin at a rate where the dissipation of heat that is accumulated due to the sun on one side of your body is equivalent to the extraction of heat from the vacuum of space on the other side of your body.
I would say not that fast. What do you think? Maybe like
I think your grasp on the basic laws of physics are foolish.
no, think about it.
Have you heard of Black Science Man?
Think about it. I would say
If any of you knows Neil deGrasse Tyson, just let him know this question. Like, if you ever get a chance to ask him,
yeah.
just ask him this question. He probably has an answer.
Yes, yes.
But by my calculations, with all the math that I have, taking the average weight of a human body at 65 kilos and taking the heat provided by the sun around surface level temperature, because I'm just taking it as 6,000 because it makes it simple, 6,000 degrees Celsius, and the other side being near to 0 Kelvin, so minus 273 degrees Celsius, the spin comes out to around fast as fuck.
Yes, Elon Musk, if you can take us to space, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
Or Sir Richard Branson, whoever gets there first.
I don't honestly care.
Yeah.
What about Mars? What are your thoughts on Mars?
Honestly, I don't want to go.
Why not?
I'm a creature of habit. I would not survive in a new civilization just starting out.
As long as they're Muslim shores, I think I can handle it.
Well, they'll have to find water first, which they did. But
They can take water.
But that's a finite supply.
No, it's not.
Oh, a water making plant.
Yeah.
By plant, I mean an industrial facility, not a actual plant.
A fuel cell?
That fuel cell.
Yeah.
But look, from all the books I've read, science fiction books I've read, shout out to Andy Weir and The Martian and Artemis, wonderful books. Life in a colony is pretty brutal.
It would be, because it's so far away from the Earth.
Yes.
Laws and everything have to be re-established.
Not even that, just day-to-day life.
Yeah, but it would be something to tell your grandkids about.
Who would potentially be Martians.
Yeah, Martians.
Yes.
You know that I heard an interesting saying the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The only confirmed landings of aliens
Mhm.
we've ever... No, there has been confirmed landings of aliens on the moon.
Us.
Yes.
Who are we aliens to?
We're aliens to the moon. Aliens comes from the root extraterrestrial.
To the residents of that world.
Extraterrestrial would be anybody who is not from that world. Moon is technically a world. It may not be a planet, but it's still a world.
That is true. Team Pluto.
I do not care for Pluto.
But what did Pluto ever do to you?
What did Pluto ever do for me?
A sense of completion?
No.
The ninth planet? The ninth planet gang?
No. It's just 8 sounds better.
How?
8?
9?
8?
Yeah, no, I see your point. Yeah. I see your point. But see, the root of my reluctance, I think it's my sense of comfort. I'm used to certain things in life.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm lazy, but to live in a colony, you would have to be very, very efficient.
Yeah.
Not just you, but as a whole colony, as a whole
Yeah, and I like
population of
efficiency.
people.
I like efficiency.
Bill Gates once said, between a lazy person and a determined person, he'd hire the lazy person because that person would find the quickest and most efficient way to solve a problem.
That's why Google's better than Microsoft right now.
Yeah, that is true. But this got me thinking. You have heard of the hot crazy scale, yes?
I'm aware.
Apply the same logic to the lazy efficiency quotient.
So that would be laziness over effectiveness.
Yes.
I think that's a pretty hard thing to define. Tell me an example of something where you're being extremely lazy but very efficient.
Honestly, I can't think of an example. Unless you can't count the time I thought about peeing into a cup from the corner of my room because I was too lazy to go to the bathroom.
But if you do that, you would still have to get rid of the pee in the end.
Unless I put a drain under the cup.
That's a lot of work to get a drain under the cup.
That's true.
I think the lazy efficiency quotient should be... We should add another variable, which would be other people working for you.
Yeah? There are different types of laziness as well.
For example.
So the other day, I was in a car with a friend, and we were going out for the night, and she had to get some money. So she stopped by the petrol station. She went to the ATM, and as she was getting out of the car, she's like, "Do you need money?" I looked at my wallet. I had enough to last me the night. I was comfortable enough in the car, music playing, the AC's on. It's a humid night outside. So I'm like, I have enough. And she's like, okay, but do you need money? I'm like, I have enough for tonight. She's like, what are you going to do tomorrow? You can just get money for tomorrow, today. So I was willing to walk to the ATM the next day, but not get out of my car that night.
Okay. I would not classify that under laziness. I would just classify that under mental deficiency.
Why?
Because you're expending more effort net. More net effort.
Maybe so, but I was also willing to walk.
Yeah, but you're expending more net effort and more net time. You'll be losing time.
We're all losing time.
Very bleak way to look at the world. But we underestimate the importance of time a lot. For example, there's this thing with free items.
Yes.
Like, let's say, for example, if we had a mall nearby and they had a new restaurant opening up, Mexican place,
Yes.
let's call it Stuffed.
Yes.
And for their grand opening, they're giving away a $10 worth of food, any items from their menu,
Okay.
for free.
Okay.
So you would see probably like 50, 60 people minimum lined up outside.
Oh, of course.
Would you be willing to wait in that line?
Depends how hungry I was. If I was hungry enough to want to try out the new place, but not hungry enough to get hangry, then yes, I would probably wait.
Let's say this is a place that has multiple times established itself as one of the best Mexican places around.
I would probably wait.
But you are paying for it
In time.
in time.
Yeah.
I heard of this great way to circumvent that problem.
Hard.
Whenever... Oh, Jesus, fuck. No. No.
I have a heart, people.
Excuse him, he's from a very rich background.
Oh, no.
His mind went to hiring people, okay?
Because
Let that speak for itself.
someone did tell me that hiring
Listen,
people to stand
listen. Let's get back to the point at hand.
Aha, see?
Just think of it. Whenever you're getting something for free, apply the $1 rule. Think of it like, okay, I'm getting this for free. Would I be willing to go through the same amount of time and pay $1 for whatever you're getting? If you're waiting in line for a jersey that's free
Yeah,
from your favorite football club,
right.
would you be willing to pay $1 to get the same jersey? Have the same weight? Would you be willing to pay $1?
Honestly, I don't think so.
Yeah. So,
Would you?
no. 100% no.
Yeah.
I find very little value in materialistic things.
Yes.
Unless they're very utilitarian.
Yes.
I don't think that's the word.
It is.
Unless they're of utility to me.
You were right.
Okay. Words. How do
Yes.
they work?
We don't know.
Next time on TEDs, look forward to us talking about what the fuck language is.
Yeah. Like, how did it evolve?
How does me making sounds from my vocal cords make you understand what I'm thinking?
Exactly. It's just a random bunch of alphabets from a language.
Next time!
On tits. We'll leave you this parting message. Utilitarian. Fork and spoon. Spork. Yay or nay?
No.
Yay. And with that,
What was our slogan? rock that ass? Something. Okay?
Something like that.
Just go back to our last episode, listen to that outro.
Yeah.
That one was better.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But next time on Tits.
Hopefully out in a more regular schedule.
Yes, yes.
Enjoy yourselves.
Idiots out.